Alright, so you figured out what surfboard to buy and how to be safe in the ocean. If not, go back and watch the first 2 episodes before moving on. In this video, I'm going to help you finalize your last piece of gear, the all-important wetsuit. You! So if you are anything like me, you've already started researching wetsuits and you quickly realized there are so many options. It can be extremely overwhelming to figure out what to choose, so I'm just going to spend a few minutes here breaking down what the wetsuit actually is and what you should be looking for. When you're starting to look, the most important feature you'll probably want to look for is neoprene thickness, which will relate to what temperature range the wetsuit is actually rated for. The thickness is measured in millimeters and it's usually two numbers, such as 3.2 or 4.3. The first number refers to the thickness in the torso area, and the second number refers to the thickness in the arms and the legs. So the first and most important thing we're going to do is figure out what thickness wetsuit do you need for most of the year. And this will 100% depend on where you live and what the water temperature is like around you year round. So quickly do a Google search, figure out what the water temperature is around you if you're not familiar with it. Once you have an idea of what the average temperature is in the winter and in the summer, you can move forward by looking then at the wetsuit temperature guide and then figure out what thickness you need for your temperature. I'm going to use the Excel wetsuit temperature guide as an example. So let's see. The water is 60 degrees-ish in the winter and high 60s in the summer. So that puts me at about a 3.2 full suit in the winter and a spring suit in the summer. And that's actually what I use. I have a Rip Curl No Zip 3.2 full suit that I use in the winter. When it starts to get a little bit warmer, I change to an older 3.2. Wetsuits lose some of their warmth as they get older. And then in the summer, I wear a spring suit. I personally like a spring suit over a rash guard and board shorts. Everybody's different. After you figure out the thickness, the rest, again, it's just going to be personal preference. So before you start hitting surf shops to go try on wetsuits, I would suggest picking out a price range that you're comfortable with and then using that as your guide moving forward. Your first wetsuit doesn't need to be amazing. You don't want to drop $500 on something if you don't know for sure you're going to be really into it in a year. You can definitely find a 3.2 full suit for about $125, maybe less if you find a good deal, and this will totally be good enough for what you need. You could definitely go the used route. I personally don't like doing that. I like to make sure that I know my wetsuit has been taken care of. Plus, you don't know how many times the guy has pissed in it. So you figured out your wetsuit thickness and your price point. Now it's time to go try suits on. Wetsuits have sizes just like clothes, and most of the manufacturers have their size guides online. So let me pull up Excel's size guide here since I already have their website open. It goes by height and weight. So for me, I'm about 5'10", 150 pounds, which puts me at either a medium short or a medium. For women and kids, the sizes are numerical. So I would look at maybe a few different manufacturer charts, figure out what your size is, and then use that as a starting point when you go into the stores. Pro tip here, bring a plastic bag with you when you start going to try on wetsuits. It's going to be easier for you to get your feet in that way. If you haven't put on a wetsuit before, it can be challenging. Don't be afraid to ask somebody for help. You can check out my video right here where I quickly show you how to put a wetsuit on. So the wetsuit should be snug so that you stay warm, but it shouldn't be so tight that it's restricting your movement in your legs and your arms. The wetsuit actually works by holding a thin layer of water in between your skin and the neoprene. So your body heats up that water and then it keeps you warm. Now, if your wetsuit is too loose, you're going to be constantly getting flushed with cold water and you're just going to get cold. The wetsuit isn't going to work appropriately. So make sure it's tight, but not so tight that you can't breathe. Now there are several different types of wetsuits. You have no zips, back zips, chest zips, spring suits, short sleeves, short legs. Again, this is all personal preference, but a lot of it is going to depend on your price point. When you're getting into no zips and things like that, your price is going to go up a little bit. Just go try some on, figure out what you like, and go from there. And try different brands. I can't stress this enough. Not all brands are equal in terms of fit. So try different brands on, see which one fits your body type the best. And if you can't decide on what brand you like, just do a little research on them and see what their warranties are like. For me personally, I stick with Rip Curl. I really like their warranties, and I live in a spot where there's local surf shops around me where if I have issues with my wetsuit, I can bring that in and they'll send it into the manufacturer for me. If you need suggestions, I've linked a few of my favorite entry-level wetsuits below, but really don't stress too much about this decision. Whatever you pick out will be perfectly fine for your first wetsuit. If you do have any issues or questions, feel free to comment below or shoot me an email. And in the next episode, we'll actually get started with one of the key fundamentals in surfing, paddling. Woo!